What is up, friends and neighbors? This is Press for Time. I am Tyler Nethers. That is Benny Rose, and we're fucking back. All right? The boys are back in town, as they say, rocking the new Fallout Edition Gunner sunglasses that they were kind enough to send my way. We're going to do a little deep dive into these. I'm going to take them off because I can't wear sunglasses all the way through the episode. Look like a primo douchebag all day. But we'll show you some of the details of the glasses. We're going to be doing a deep dive spoiler cast into, well, I guess not deep. We're going to do a light dive spoiler cast into the Fallout TV series on Amazon Prime, which Benny and I have both been watching and have finished. And it's gonna be a Fallout centric show. Fallout glasses, Fallout TV show. Hopefully, no Fallout where you live. Stick around.
Long time no see, my friend.
Long time no see.
Awesome intro. You got my blood pumping, dude.
That's right,
Fucking
man.
Hell yeah.
Got that high energy. High energy. All right. So, as promised, let's see if the camera will actually focus. These are phenomenal. These are the new Fallout series glasses from Gunner. They look. I'm not gonna be able to get it to focus. I'll throw some B-roll in here. We'll show them off a little better, but. They're modeled a little bit. It looks like after the power armor. You've got the goggle lenses around the actual, or the goggle frames around the lenses. They're incredibly light. It seems like they'll be heavy because they're solid, but no, it's mostly all in the lenses. The actual frame is really, really light. They've got, I don't know if it'll actually come through, but Vault 33 stamped.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'll get it in B-roll. Vault 33 stamped on it. The bag that they come in. Let's see what we got. Yeah, it's backwards, but whatever. And then they come in a solid case like the Stark ones did. So Vault 33, Fallout / Gunner opens up. You have a
very appropriate.
Yes. You got the nice little cleaning cloth, and on the inside. It's revolutionary safety for an uncertain future. So they took care of the little. Oh my God, I'm so washed out. They took care of the little details. They did a really good job. Huge thank you. Shout out to Gunner for sending them over.
Question though, is there a chase version that has maybe Vault 31 and there might be some blood on there or some gook?
That would be pretty cool, but there is not. Gunner, I know you're watching. Tyler, I know you're watching. Let them know we need a chase version with some blood on the frame.
That'd be awesome. I'm down.
You heard it here first.
That's it. Yeah. So we're gonna get into the show itself. We actually have a show that's going to be airing prior to this release, where we actually have Monica and Paul and myself talk about the distribution aspect of the show, along with X-Men 97. So if you want a little more context on like how we feel about them giving us all 8 episodes, check that episode out. It's really cool, great perspectives from three different people. And here we're going to talk about the actual show itself. So for me, I'm not a diehard Fallout fan. Like I didn't play any of the older games. I think my first foray was 3. I did review 4. Never got to play New Vegas, and I've heard nothing but great things.
New Vegas is the best one.
Yeah, and did not touch the online game, but it seems like a lot of people are gravitating towards it now, funny enough.
So I picked it up when it came out. I was a very early Fallout 76 adopter, and I fucking hated it. Uninstalled it. I picked it back up like a year or 2 later, because we're on, year 5 now? A year or 2 later. Still, it was better, but it still didn't land for me. Fell off. And then people are trying to get me to get back into it now, but I'm too busy on Final Fantasy 14 still. So
all good.
But dude, you should play New Vegas. New Vegas, you can get like the semi-updated. It's not a remaster, but you can get like the updated graphics and stuff, and you can just play it. It's phenomenal. It's the best one in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I definitely wanted to look into that. And the show helped elevate that interest. So yeah,
Absolutely.
let's get right into it. You know, we have 8 episodes, pretty long episodes for each one for the most part.
Yeah,
I
most
think
of them are an
an
hour.
hour
What you have
plus.
two in the middle that were like closer to 40, 45 minutes. And you felt it. Honestly, my wife and I watched the whole show together in a couple days. And those shorter episodes, she was like, man, that was so short. That was like a 45-minute episode, man. It was crazy.
Yeah. So let's talk about, I guess, you know, the true context here. We have a video game adaptation, which is always concerning, right? We have a long history of content that has been made in the medium, from video game to movie, video game to TV, that has
Yeah.
not always done well.
It's
But
a varied past for sure.
right, but I feel like over the last couple of years, we've started seeing improvements vastly. Some still continue to not give us what we want, as far as that, like Resident Evil. We won't get into those, but there has been very limited success, in my opinion, with a lot of those shows. But how do you feel as far as your knowledge and exposure to Fallout? How much do you feel the game essence is in the show? Like, do you feel like they captured it? Do you feel like there's
More
stuff
so
they could have
More so
done?
than anything else. No, truly. I think the Fallout show is the most true to the original adaptation, more so than The Last of Us, more so than Mario, more so than any of the other video game stuff that's been done. I think it stayed true to the spirit of the games while also telling a unique individual story. And I think that's the key, right? So The Last of Us, the game is Joel and Ellie. The show is Joel and Ellie. So there's always going to be departures there. Mario is barely a protagonist, right? He's a conduit for you to play. He has very few voice lines, very few like real interactions other than the platforming. So giving him a character and all this personality and stuff in the movie is a departure, right? As true to the spirit of the game as they may have tried to be, they're telling a completely different story. I mean, in the games, Bowser is not singing his love to Princess Peach, right? That's a Jack Black thing. That's different. With Fallout, they took such a different route. And yes, it's the world and the experiences that you're used to from the games. And there's all these pieces of the games there, but it's three completely unique characters, right? So you've got Lucy, who's not in the games. You've got Maximus, who's not really in the games. You've got the Ghoul, who is not in the games. There are ghouls. You have freaking Brotherhood of Steel knights, and you have vault dwellers, but none of them are those characters. So they're able to be completely unique characters that don't clash with what already exists in the games while living in a video game accurate version of the world. So I think it pulled off the best adaptation. Yeah, the best video game adaptation so far. I had to stop and think real quick, but I really think that's the best one.
I have to agree. And, my knowledge may not be as vast as many other Fallout fans, but I definitely got a bigger interest once I exposed myself to the world of Fallout 4 and reviewing and playing it for hours and hours and on end. The biggest thing that I did see was that love of being able to connect with stuff that's in the world, knowing about, all the different elements between the weapons, the power armor, the way the vaults were designed,
Right.
the connectivity of the vaults, and the little homages that speak to the timeline in the grander scheme of the Fallout universe. Because I think what they've tried to do is fit it in the larger timeline, so that
Absolutely.
it's part of a connected universe and not just a TV show of the outlet, because I think that's what a lot of people do is they'll kind of make it like Mario. It doesn't fit in the games worlds, which is okay, but you're getting more people vested interest in the IP as a whole.
Right.
Because I think that all of the games are definitely getting more interesting being revisited. PC, console, we mentioned on the previous show that the Fallout 4 game is having an update for the consoles the end of this month. So there's a lot of reasons to go back, which is great. But I think a big part of that has to do with how heavily involved Bethesda was with the
Yeah.
production, which I
Quite
think is
possibly.
critical.
I don't know though.
Um,
Because so I'm going to use The Last of Us as another example again, right? And again, this
Fair
is not
enough.
shitting on The Last of Us because I like that show. I thought they did a really good job. But you didn't see a huge influx of new players. People
Right.
watched The Last of Us and then were like, "Oh, okay. I got The Last of Us story. I don't need to go play the video game," right? Because it's a retelling of the same story. So there's very little incentive to go visit those games after the fact. Whereas with Fallout, being an original story is grabbing people and making them invested in either going back and playing the video game stories or playing it for the first time. People that maybe didn't play Fallout because they're like, oh, they thought it was too serious or thought X, Y, and Z. And then they watched the show and actually understood the tone of the games and were like, I want to go check that out. I want to go play those games. And for returning players, same thing. I played The Last of Us multiple times, very familiar with the story, watched the show, didn't feel a desire to go back and replay the game again and experience the same story that I had just experienced. Fallout, I watched the show and I'm like, fuck, I want to go back and play more Fallout. I want to play them all again. I want to play 3. I want to play Vegas. I want to not play 4. I want to try 76 again. Like,
Hey.
4 is good, but I don't need to play it again.
I never finished it. That's the one thing I regret. And I
Gotcha.
wonder if my save even exists anymore. Like I got to those, I think, core of the story elements of like, and then I don't know what happened, but I fell off with it, and I'm
You got pressed
curious.
for time.
Yeah. And this is pre-child, so I don't know what my
Yeah.
excuse was.
Oh, hey, I
Maybe it
wanted
was
to show you
music.
something. Sidetrack. Let's see if I
Oh,
can
we're
get
gonna have another show. We have to split it.
filling.
We're gonna have another sidetrack episode. Is this gonna be about burgers, fries, and pizza?
I have my own candle today, Benny.
Nice.
Mine's
Oh, don't
bigger.
worry. Your candle definitely makes an appearance
I'm
in the
sure
last
it
show.
does. I'm sure
I
it
mean,
does.
are we really comparing sizes? Because I mean, I could do this all day, bro.
Shit. That's just comparing multiples, numbers.
They all
But
smell
anyway, I
horrible.
wanted to well, I'm sure this one smells great. Cedar leaf and sage from Better Homes and Gardens.
Nice.
Yeah, making it smell real nice up in here. It's a classy joint.
Nice. For me, I have to be careful, unfortunately, because we have a cat, and we've learned that the scents from incense and candles, when that can actually affect them, which we didn't know. So
Funny story. The reason I have this candle in here is because I had to take all the candles out of my bedroom because we got the reptiles in there now, and I can't burn
look at that.
candles or do our essential oil diffuser. Can't have that in the bedroom anymore. Any of the rooms with the reptiles. So we have them here in the sunroom where
That
the
makes sense.
reptiles don't hang out.
Yeah, the cat likes to hang out by the window, so I try to be fair. But when he's not around, I'll close the door, and sometimes I won't burn Resident Evil, but I'll burn other ones.
Yep. But no, that's exactly why these are in here. And I was gonna bring my little my bearded dragon companion that I have gained likes to sit on my shoulder right here while I play games or do whatever. I was gonna bring her in here for the show, and then I was like, I've got the candles burning and the essential oil going, so not today, but next show.
There we go.
Special
That's
guest.
cool. Nice.
I ironically named her Shiva. So Shiva is the ice icon in Final Fantasy, and she's a desert dwelling fucking dragon. So
there you go. That works. So let me ask you, with the show, let's get a little more into the episodes, and the one thing I don't want to really spoil because I feel like not everybody's seen it. Like, we won't talk about the ending and any of the major plot twists, but we could talk about the 3 characters, and we could talk about the environments and maybe some of the items that they are using. We could talk about the health packs and
freaking
all
stim
the
packs
food.
and
Yeah.
Radaway and Radex and yeah, man.
I thought it was really cool to have these 3 truly diverse characters, rightfully so. Obviously, they're literally in worlds apart, in the same world, and it's screwed up for everybody, but they're living different lives. The way that they interact, I thought was cool because they would have these repeated separate paths. They'd
Mhm.
interject, then they'd split again. So there was a lot of that, which was really cool. And I think the show gave a lot of flexibility for their character growth individually. Um, Personally, I'm not a fan of Maximus. I don't like his character. I don't like his
Nope.
personality.
The actor did a phenomenal job.
Yes,
Not his
yes.
fault. The
The character.
choice to make the character the way that they did is ridiculous, and I chalk it up to the exact same shit that they did in Star Wars.
Okay.
Not to get on my soapbox too much, but they
Uh-oh.
had the opportunity to do something great with Finn, and instead they relegated him to a background freaking idiot moron, which is again not the actor's fault, but it's a gross mishandling of that character. And I feel like they did the exact same thing with Maximus in this show, and I'm fucking tired of it. All right.
Yeah. I feel like for me, it was a little more of a different approach. Like I was getting more of a kind of like an anti-hero vibe, but not in a good way. Because
Yeah.
it's like he's trying to do something, but there's just so much selfishness in his heart and just his personality, the way they wrote this character to be
Yeah.
kind of dry. You can't
And
read
just
him
so
very well.
stupid.
Well, that
Just so
a lot of moments of being
unbelievably
dumbfounded.
stupid.
You got to admit, Rappaport in the armor was
Oh
pretty
my God,
hilarious.
dude, that was very funny.
I mean, to me, it was just one of his viral videos, like when he
Yes.
does the audio dubbing,
Oh
where he
yes.
just rants. I'm
Oh
sure
yes.
you've seen.
I'm very familiar. Ma.
I'm definitely gonna edit one of those clips in here because we have
Oh
to.
yeah.
It's just hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Ma, there's a fucking moose outside. Like,
Dude,
it's just
unreal.
amazing.
That's
I'm like, this guy's
100%.
bitching about the suit, and it's just like, dude, you're playing yourself, which is great. But at first, like, I was questioning, I'm like, is that really him? Sure enough.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, that was wild. Excellent choice to have him be the knight. The knight that has been so they're touted as these fucking invincible heroes, and he's this badass, polish my cod piece, like blah blah blah, and then oh fuck, running away from the fucking abomination.
Makes you wonder if he earned that armor either. Like if we have a history of
I
these
don't
guys
know.
not really earning
So
it.
Titus is a character in game.
Well, I'm saying
I want to
because
say yeah.
Maximus was walking around as Titus as well. That's more
Well,
what
right.
I'm getting at. Like the armor set, they're depicting that particular knight in that scenario. So who's to say that Rappaport didn't do the same thing early on? I mean, that's the vibe I got from his character. But no, there was a lot of really cool moments between the ghoul, I would say, and Lucy, especially early
the
on.
Ghoul is hands down my favorite, and I don't know if that's
Agreed.
because Walton Goggins is just so phenomenal, or if it's the character. I mean, I think probably a combination of.
It's a combination for sure.
Definitely the most compelling. Having him, the flashbacks to him as a person and learning the story of Vault-Tec through his story, I thought was incredible. He's the only, no, he's not the only. He's the character that I feel like had the most drastic growth. Lucy went from being so terribly naive and vault conscious to, more realistic, realist out in the real world. But I felt like the Ghoul had the most actual character development, going from he was just going to shoot Lucy in the head to kind of
humbling himself a little bit after getting the second chance.
Exactly. So no, everything with him I thought was just perfect. It elevated the show so much.
I definitely love the episode when he drops her off at the as I call it, the Staten Island ShopRite, because that scene was filmed in one of my hometowns.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that it was literally a shut down ShopRite in an area like we remember reading about it during the pandemic where they were filming it, and I know that building because I've been there and we used to drive past it when I lived out there. So it was really cool. Like
That's
oh
awesome.
my God, like yeah, you could. I know the building. They kind of used the same shell before they knocked it down. But I love that episode because of, forgive me, I don't remember the names of the robots, but like having the robot in there, like that's a lot of times.
Oh, you're talking about the Mr. Handy?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Like
what do they call him? Snip in that one?
Yeah. that was really cool because you don't get it anywhere else, and it's
Oh,
a
and having
very,
Matt
very
Berry
important piece.
voice Mr. Handy,
Chef's
absolutely
kiss.
inspired. As soon as he's fucking started talking, I'm doing the Leonardo DiCaprio point at the screen. It's fucking Matt Berry. Dude, that was phenomenal.
I mean, I feel
Phenomenal
like if you
choice.
think about, there's a meme out there that literally is the Leonardo DiCaprio, and it's dressed up as Fallout Boy because every fan is doing that the whole show.
Oh yeah,
You know,
man.
there's so many
So many
elements, and I'm
sound
sure there's stuff I
effects.
missed too. You know,
Oh yeah, me
for
too. Like
sure.
I guarantee you I missed stuff.
But I would say also visually,
Stunning.
awesome.
Perfect,
Looks so
perfect
good.
interpretation of the wasteland. Yes. A good mix of what seemed to me as practical effects
Practical.
mixed with CGI to fill in the gaps. Instead of just being all green screen or all in the volume.
Yeah, I agree.
Excuse me.
No.
Like doing it all in the volume where the depth of field of what you can tell is real is so small. You know they're interacting with a handful of things in a tiny little circle and everything else is on a screen. With Fallout, it felt, and I could be wrong. I haven't seen any behind the scenes stuff, but it felt way more deep, way more going on. Like they put a lot more into the production design instead of farming it all out to VFX. So
Right. Well, I think Amazon is probably a big part of that because if you think about how much they invested into Lord of the Rings, a show I've not seen, but it was also brought up in the previous show. But again, it was just another one where there was a lot of money put into it. So
yeah,
I'm grateful because, when it comes to stuff like this is a world created in the game that everything was created here.
yeah.
It's not being based in a real life situation. So you have this world that could be a challenge to bring to life and make it feel authentic
Yep.
because of we have so many movies and shows with post-apocalyptic stuff. You have Mad Max, which another visually stunning movie by
But in a very
comparison.
different way.
Exactly. This has all these different elements. You have this established pretty much civilization underground that has everything built in a normal scenario. Then you have all these people
And the
living above.
naivete of the Vault Dwellers was just so perfectly executed.
Yeah, so many cringe moments with those characters too, but
Oh yes.
again, executed very well.
Yep.
Like there was just, I mean, that beginning scene when she gets married, and
Oh
I
yeah.
had that vibe, but I didn't know it was gonna go like that quick. I
Right.
thought that was gonna be something we were gonna gradually get to a reveal later on. I didn't know we were
Same.
gonna blow
That
up
just
everything.
immediately start going. Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah. I mean, it got her on her toes really early before she even went above ground, because who knows if that didn't happen, if she would have been designed differently because she didn't have that experience.
Yeah.
She already got that vibe, so she knows. I mean, the stories are obviously told of what happens above ground, but to experience it definitely drives you as a different person, to have
Oh
that
yeah, for sure.
physical experience. So it was really cool to help that dynamic with her, and then also with the radiation poisoning at one point.
Yes.
I almost forgot about it for a second. Like
Yeah.
I knew it, and you don't see it, and then all of a sudden she's getting the sickness.
Mhm.
Yeah, man, there's so much to talk about, but we won't go too crazy into it because we just wanted to
Mm-mm.
really appreciate it and really
Yeah.
talk about how much it really pays respect to the IP more than anything.
Yep.
And what I really like is, from what I see, a lot of the marketing was focused towards media outlets that focus on games.
Correct.
So you saw they did a red carpet for it, which is not super common with shows, but it shows how much they believed in it, But again, talking about that distribution platform, we got every episode in one shot. We were thinking that it might be because they're confident in it. They know that
But they
they
weren't
feel like
sure.
it's good.
Yep.
That's it.
I bet
They wanted
season
to be
2
sure.
I bet that season 2 will be episodic.
There you
Like,
go.
it'll
First two
over
episodes maybe
time.
we'll get, and then
Yep.
weekly. Yeah.
I could see my early predictions, a 10 episode season 2, all episodes close to 45 minutes to an hour. First 2 drop on day 1 and then one a week after that.
Yeah.
get a 2-month cycle, or maybe the first 3 even, and then one a week, and get
Right.
like a 2-month conversation cycle. Because that's the
Right.
problem with the binge method is you don't capture the zeitgeist for nearly as long.
Yeah, and that was a really important discussion that we had yesterday because again, like it just had me wondering because so many shows have gone the binge route
Yeah.
and it hasn't really been questioned.
And then you watch it and forget it. Like truly, I feel like it does shows a disservice. Whereas shows like I feel like The Boys benefits greatly. It's another Amazon example. Benefits greatly from the weekly, the episodic, and you can discuss theories and stuff in between. You can, I mean, people that have read the comics kind of know where it's going, but not always.
Right.
They subvert what you think. So I really like the episodic model for stuff like that, and I think that'll be season 2.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. It comes down to just that little bit of doubt in the back of their mind. Like, is it really going to be successful? Is it really going to hold people's attention?
Right.
And I think
everybody knows the name,
surprised.
but do they know what it is? And that's a key factor.
I think they were really surprised by how well it captured people outside of the game's primary audience.
Agreed, hands down.
So another side, kind of looping connection here. The Fallout show has given me some deep hope because horror maestro Mike Flanagan is said to be is working on a Dark Tower adaptation. It could potentially end up at Amazon, it looks like. After Lord of the Rings, I was like, oh my God, they're going to fuck this up. After the other Dark Tower pilot got shot and sent to them and they passed on it when it was supposedly incredible, I was even more disappointed. But Fallout nailed exactly what the Dark Tower is going to need to be, because I don't know if you're familiar with that story, but it is also kind of a post-apocalyptic-ish. I mean, it's not really, but the world has moved on and there are ruins of old cities and stuff. And it is kind of that Fallout style a little bit. So seeing how well they pulled that off, if they end up picking up the Dark Tower show and Mike Flanagan is helming it, it'll be the greatest thing ever made, probably. I will die satisfied, man. So Fallout has given me genuine hope for the Dark Tower to actually be good.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I think that it's interesting that Amazon's a platform that is very diverse. They do a lot of different things, and between Invincible and The Boys, those are my big examples that I go to. But they also do a TV show that I love that's not that kind of show, which is A Toy Store Near You.
Right.
Former guest of the show, Brian Volkweiss, a show that he produced. I absolutely love it as a toy collector. But again, it's something that's just not the norm for that type of platform. So it's great to see all these different Now we have comic book adaptations. We have video game adaptations. Dark Tower is a book, right? Just make sure I'm on the same page. So again, you have another adaptation that they could definitely elevate that. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with that. That could be cool. We'll see. I'm sure we'll do a show about it. So.
Oh my God, dude. They'll do 100 shows.
We'll have 2-hour shows for that one.
Absolutely.
We will make time for that.
I mean, reach out to Stephen King, see if he wants to come on.
He's on Twitter. We can.
He's on Twitter.
What's the worst he's going to say? No? That's it. Or no answer. You never know until you try, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly.
Keep that in mind. A lot of our guests, I just took a chance and reach out. And we're grateful to everybody that's been a part of this show. It's a complete sideline, but I think it's a good way to end the show on a positive note. Thank you all, because we're almost 200 shows in a year. I think that's a extraordinary milestone for Tyler and I that have been doing this a long time as friends, as colleagues, and we couldn't have done it all without you guys. So everybody that has jumped in and watched one video, you are a reason why we do this, and we appreciate that. And remember, we are a variety show. We have that against us in most odds. When you think about, oh, you guys don't have a niche, we are being recognized as an outlet of sorts, but at the same time, we're doing this because we love it, and we love so many different things.
Yep.
and we're doing what no one else is doing. So if you like what we're doing, please give us a like, give us a subscribe, tell your friends about us. You know, there might be that one show they might like. That might be all it needs. But again,
Yep.
as we grow, we have more opportunity for more segments to create. I was talking with Monica on the down low. We might be doing a horror segment very soon. So we know there's a lot of horror fans out there. Stay tuned, okay? We appreciate everything you do, and thank you for your support. Tyler, do you have anything to leave us out with?
No, I couldn't have said it better myself, man. Thank you, everybody. We do have something fun in the works that I have been working on behind the scenes. I'm getting together a Discord server that will be available to people in the audience. I think the idea is once we hit 1,000 subscribers, we'll open that up. And you know, we have plans in the future to try and do maybe like a Patreon or something like that. And we'll have some incentives and stuff thrown in with that. But I think as of now, once we hit 1,000 subs, I'm going to open that Discord community up a little bit and see if maybe we can get some folks in there and start hanging out. I think that would be really fun. But it's one of those things you don't want to do it too early and have people get in and get bored because there's not a lot of people in there. But I think once we hit 1,000, we'll open that up. So if you would be interested in that, comment, let us know. Be like, yes, Discord sounds great. Or no, I hate Discord. This is a better platform to use. Whatever. Give us some feedback. But that's it. Thank you so much for being here. And we appreciate your time always.
Until next time, take care. Have fun.